tribes, nomads, and settled communities. Many historians have accepted the notion that caste divisions in society is a uniquely Indian feature. However, unequal caste divisions are to be found in the history of most nations. These divisions are not uniquely Indian, as commonly believed, though caste system is specifically Indian. Social divisions. From ancient period, the caste system divided Indian society into 4 categories. The Brahmins occupied very high position in the society as they imparted education. The Kshatriyas were the warriors and rulers. Originally, the Vaishyas were the cultivators, but towards the end of the later Vedic period, many of them had shifted their occupation to trade and crafts. All these 3 upper castes were entitled to thread ceremony. The Shudras, who formed the lowest caste, were deprived of many privileges and were engaged in menial jobs. Unlike other ancient civilizations, slavery did not exist in India. In course of time, caste system had become rigid and hereditary. During the medieval period, 4 main varnas came to be divided into several subcastes or jatis. In the Rajput period, the caste system became more rigid and the Brahmins became more powerful. They were exempted from paying taxes. They got lighter punishment for certain offences as compared to other castes. Many new occupational castes, such as those of the weavers, carpenters, fishermen, smiths, etc., came into existence. The conditions of women were poor in this period. The birth of a girl child was not welcomed. Polygamy was common, and women were denied education. They were socially conditioned to become sati. There are examples in Rajput history when women plunged into fire to save their honor. Some social groups, such as foreigners and tribals, who had until now been kept outside the caste structure, were gradually recognized by the Brahmins as separate jatis. However, the untouchables remained outside the caste system. Tribes and tribal societies. Ancient Indian texts mention the existence of tribes in the Mahabharata and in the edicts of King Ashoka. These tribals find a mention as forest dwellers during the Mauryan period. Historically, they have always existed beyond the mainstream society and were governed by their own set of rules. People who were subjugated by the rulers were called dasas, and those who did not accept the bondage of slavery were called dasyus. In India, tribals constitute about 50 million of our population. For thousands of years, these tribals have lived undisturbed by social and scientific developments in the regions which were regarded unhealthy and unsafe by others. They led a nomadic life as they would periodically migrate from one place to another within their region. From the medieval period, the secluded life of the tribals has been slowly challenged by the migration of other people, including Europeans, into the tribal regions. Simultaneously, the rapid expansion of agriculture resulted in a marked decline in forests, which were the original home for most of the tribes. Thus, many tribes have been uprooted from their original villages and have been exposed to new cultures. In some places, they have assimilated certain aspects of these cultures and have begun to lead a settled life, adopting better methods of agriculture and hunting. The study of tribal cultures and lifestyles is a part of the science of anthropology. As the tribals have often led isolated and nomadic life, it is very difficult to learn about them. Anthropologists come to tribal regions, befriend the tribals, live with them, and learn their culture. Historians often use the writing of the anthropologists to trace the history of the tribes and the regions in which they live. Local inscriptions and literature supplement the information furnished by the anthropological studies to the historians. Absorption of tribals into general society. As the medieval kingdoms expanded their boundaries, they took over the territories of many of these tribes. The resident tribes were absorbed into the general society. The disgruntled tribal families were often given Kshatriya status. The Khokhars and Ghakkars were powerful tribes of Punjab who settled down as farmers. Some of their chiefs were given high administrative posts. For example, Akbar made the Ghakkar chief Kamal Khan Ghakkar a mansabdar. The absorption of the tribes was not always easy. Some hill tribes of the northwest resisted absorption. In many areas of present-day Bihar and Jharkhand, Chiro chiefdoms had emerged. Raja Man Singh, Akbar's famous general, attacked and defeated the Chiros in 1591. A large amount of booty was taken from them, but they were not entirely subdued. Under Aurangzeb, Mughal forces captured many Chiro fortresses and subjugated the tribe. The Mundas and Santals were among the other important tribes that lived in the region of Odisha and Bengal. Maharashtra and Karnataka were home to Kolis, Berards, and numerous other tribes. Further south, there were large tribal populations of Koragas and Maravars. The large tribes of Bhils spread across western and central India. The Gonds were found in great numbers across the present-day states of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Andhra Pradesh. The origin of Jats is tribal, and their early historical accounts show them as pastoral. They seem to have moved into Punjab from Sindh and abandoned pastoralism. Akbar's historian Badoni mentions them as being in the stage between pastoralism and agriculture. Jats of Punjab. Jats attained their political importance in the second half of the 17th century when there was a serious uprising of the Jats near Mathura under the leadership of Gokhla. In 1685, the Jats plundered Akbar's tomb in Sikandra, and fighting continued till Raja Bishan Singh of Amber stormed the Jat stronghold of Singhani and crushed them. However, the Jats managed to unite against the Mughal emperors and expanded their kingdom. The kingdom reached its peak under Surajmal, who captured Bharatpur and extended his kingdom around Mewar. Surajmal was appointed as the Faujdar of Mathura by the Mughals. The growth of Jat powers angered the Marathas, who wanted to subdue them. Surajmal defeated the Marathas and also Ahmad Shah Abdali, who attacked Jats. However, Surajmal met an untimely death as he was shot dead by Nazib-ud-Dawla, the Afghan vice-regent at Delhi. The Jat kingdom, through a tribal confederacy, did give a jolt to Mughal Empire. They left an imprint of bravery, courage, and military diplomacy in history. Gonds. The Gonds are one of the largest and most well-known tribal communities in India. The name Gond is probably derived from Telugu word Konda, meaning hills. Thus, the name indicates the hilly region in which most of the Gonds live. In Madhya Pradesh, there was a small but powerful Gond kingdom until the 18th century. The Gonds, though predominantly Hindu, worshipped their own gods. The Gonds mainly practiced shifting cultivation. They also grew cereals and maintained animal husbandry. They belonged to the category of very large tribes like Santals and Bhils. However, much like the other tribals, the Gonds have suffered from increasing landlessness in the past 50 years. The Gonds lived in Gondwana, which included the forests in central India and Chhattisgarh. The region was rich in precious metals and forest products. In the 15th century, various Gond tribes of the region united to form a large Gond kingdom called Garhakatanga. The Gonds came into close contact with the Rajputs, and some Gond chiefs were able to marry into Rajput families. Amandas, who was one of the earliest Gond kings, married his son Dalpat Shah to the Rajput princess Durgavati of Bundelkhand. However, Dalpat died young, leaving behind his queen and minor son Bir Narayan. Garh-Katanga grew prosperous under the able leadership of Rani Durgavati, who ruled on behalf of Bir Narayan. Akbar's armies invaded Garh-Katanga. Rani Durgavati bravely defended her kingdom, but killed herself when her defeat became certain. Her son also died fighting. The kingdom of Garh-Katanga was known for its riches. The Mughals got a large booty of gold, silver, and elephants. Akbar expanded his province of Malwa by annexing parts of Garh-Katanga. Later, the Gond territories were taken over by the Marathas, Ahoms. The Ahoms belonged to the Shan tribe of southern China and Southeast Asia. They are one of the main tribes in Assam in northeast India. It is believed that the name of Assam is derived from Ahom. They migrated into Brahmaputra Valley in the early 13th century. By the 16th century, they conquered the tribal kingdom of Kutiyas and won control over the entire eastern part and a section of the western part of the valley. At this time, the land in this region was controlled by non-tribal landlords called Bhutians. They were employed as officials by the Ahom rulers. The rulers of Bengal competed with the Ahoms for control over the Brahmaputra Valley. They took control of the western part of the valley. The Ahoms retained control over the eastern part. In the 17th century, the Ahoms bravely resisted the military expansion of the Mughals into their region. The British overthrew the Ahoms in the 19th century. The Ahoms lived in houses built of locally available material such as bamboo. Rice cultivation has the main occupation, and the food of the Ahom included rice, the meat of pig, and fowls. The Ahom rulers maintained a workforce which played an important role during war and peace. Its members were called Paiks, served as soldiers, and also built dams and roads. With the exception of nobles, nearly all males aged 15 to 60 years had to do compulsory public service. All land under rice cultivation belonged to the state. Every Paik was given a certain amount of this land to cultivate. Although Ahoms descended from the Buddhists' Shan tribe, they were not Buddhist. They worshipped tribal gods, though some Ahom rulers adopted Hinduism. Chukapha, the first Ahom king, brought an idol of the deity which has been regarded as the main deity of the Ahoms. Most of the Ahoms strictly follow Hindu customs and beliefs. The Ahom kings built temples for Hindu deities like Vaishnavite temple. Even though Ahoms built Hindu temples, they continued to worship their own tribal gods. They also used their tribal language along with Assamese and followed their tribal customs. Trivia: Bhils are the largest tribe of South Asia. This Indian tribe is mentioned even in epics like the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Shabri, who offered Bear to Lord Ram, is said to belong to this tribe. Trivia: In Andhra Pradesh, there are about 33 kinds of tribes. Important among these are Khonds, Kolamis, Valmikis, Bhagats, Jatayus, Gadahas, and Chenchus, etc. They are spread along the Deccan Plateau and the rivers Krishna and Godavari.